Today, we're diving into what might be the most mysterious, darkest, and boldest project in the Assassin's Creed series, codename Hexa. In this video, we're breaking down everything from official statements to leaks, from theories and analysis to Ubisoft's new strategy. If you're ready, let's step together into the shadow of the witch hunts. Before we get into the video, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's begin. Assassin's Creed codename Hexa stands at the center of the gaming world as the most mysterious and darkest project Ubisoft has developed in years. With Shadows now out, all eyes have turned to HEXE, because according to Ubisoft itself, this game will be the flagship that kicks off an entirely new era in the Assassin's Creed universe. Since the first reveal in 2022, we've only seen a 30-second teaser, but even that short clip managed to convey tones of horror, the occult, and historical thriller that the series had never truly explored before. Hexa looks like a project that's getting ready to completely flip the AC formula on its head. That's why both players and content creators are eagerly wondering what this game will bring. The atmosphere of the teaser is colder and more unsettling than anything we've seen in the AC universe before. The assassin symbol made of broken branches spinning over a fire, the ominous silence inside the forest, the sense of pressure that creeps in as the camera moves. It all signals a new tone. But what really makes the teaser interesting are the hidden symbols embedded in the visuals and the use of the occult script known as the alphabet of the Magi. When decoded, this alphabet reveals the message, "We work in the dark to serve the light," which both nods to the roots of the series and hints that the game will center on a clash between sacred, demonic, and shadowy forces. The Mephisto avenge the family message appearing in the inner circle indicates strong ties to German folklore, curses, and demon myths. All of this symbolic storytelling naturally leads players toward the era of the witch hunts. According to Bloomberg and other reliable sources, Hexa is set between the 16th and 17th centuries during the peak of witch trials in Europe. This period is defined not only by its brutality, but also by a dark psychology in which people accused each other out of fear of magic, demons, curses, and the paranormal. In the gaming world, Hexa looks like it will be the first major title to bring that atmosphere of fear into the AC universe. The fact that Ubisoft is specifically interested in this era proves that it aims to deliver a much heavier, more tense, and more threatening experience than usual. The fact that Ubisoft Montreal is leading the project pushes expectations even higher. This isn't just the team behind Valhalla, Origins, and the Far Cry games. It's also the studio where the series was born. On top of that, creative direction is in the hands of Clint Hocking, known for experimental titles like Far Cry 2 and Watch Dogs Legion. Hocking's approach to game design is usually system-driven, risk-taking, challenging for the player, and focused on breaking established formulas. That tells us Hexa won't be an ordinary AC game. It'll likely be much more experimental, a project designed to unsettle and provoke thought. Ubisoft's own description of it as a game that will leave a permanent mark on the series shows just how big the creative vision is. The game's structure also appears poised to change the course of the series. As Marc-Alexis Cote openly stated in an interview with IGN, Hexa will not be an RPG. That means the open-world, level-up, loot-heavy AC style we've had since Origins will be completely broken for the first time. No one knows exactly what a non-RPG AC will look like, but one strong possibility is this. In Hexa, Ubisoft may try something more linear, darker, more atmospheric, maybe even something leaning towards survival horror. The idea of controlling a character who is weak and under threat during the witch hunts, someone caught in a world of fear, naturally lends itself to gameplay focused on stealth, escape, psychological pressure, torture, suspicion, and paranoia. For that reason, it's almost a given that Hexa will be the darkest, most claustrophobic, and most different Assassin's Creed experience to date. Hex's atmosphere will almost certainly draw not just from the era's darkness, but also from symbolic and occult layers. During the witch trials, oppression didn't come only from the church and the state. There were also rumors spreading among villagers, accusations of making pacts with the devil, neighbors turning on each other, and a constant fear of being accused of witchcraft at any moment. The Mephisto emphasis in the teaser shows that this is a modern reading of that fear. It signals a shift away from the series' usual scientific historical line into a more mystical and psychological direction. Of course, in the Assassin's Creed universe, there is no real magic. But Isu technologies and mystical symbols being perceived as dark powers by people of that era will add an incredible layer to the game. How Ubisoft balances this will be one of the key factors defining the tone. The protagonist at the center of the story remains a mystery. Ubisoft has yet to show a single silhouette or face, and that has only fueled speculation about the character's identity. According to some strong rumors, the main character could be a woman accused of witchcraft. This idea isn't just based on the symbols in the teaser. It's also reinforced by the fact that Hexa is the German word for witch. There's a high chance the player will control someone who is accused at risk of torture and ostracized from society. That implies something far greater than a typical assassin game. Hexa could flip the series' traditional power fantasy entirely by placing the player in the shoes of a powerless, vulnerable, and hunted character. That might be the single most important element elevating the game's tone to a whole new level. On the gameplay side, the most striking element is Ubisoft's conscious move away from the massive open-world RPG formula. This isn't just a stylistic change, it's a sign of a major strategic shift in the future of Assassin's Creed. Players have spent hundreds of hours in RPG-style experiences like Odyssey and Valhalla, but Hexa abandoning this approach entirely suggests Ubisoft is aiming for a more focused, intense, and condensed story. That style tends to work especially well in dark, tension-driven narratives. If Hexa really is linear or semi-linear, it could deliver a more impactful experience by maintaining the story's rhythm without letting it sprawl. In such a design, atmosphere, stealth, and the player's mental state come to the forefront. The fact that all this darkness is being crafted by a veteran team like Ubisoft Montreal naturally raises the bar even higher. The studio has experience with both large-scale RPGs and smaller, more focused games. But Clint Hocking's presence might be the single most critical element shaping the game's soul. Hocking is known for chaotic systems, worlds shaped by player choices, and experimental storytelling. The fire system in Far Cry 2, the recruit anyone mechanic in Legion, these radical ideas came from him. That makes it likely we'll see unconventional systems in Hexa as well. In a horror-themed AC, a systemic approach where villagers fall into paranoia, NPCs report you, and you either spread fear or blend in quietly, could give us one of the deepest games in the AC universe. The game's placement inside the Animus Hub also carries special importance. In its 2025 presentation, Ubisoft confirmed that Hexa will be the first major game added to the Animus Hub after Shadows. This means all AC games going forward will be connected through a central historical interface. That structure positions Hexa not just as a standalone project, but as a crucial transitional point for the future of the AC universe. Ubisoft's plan to continually improve the Animus Hub proves that Hexa will play a big role not only in terms of atmosphere, but also in terms of its place in the overall AC ecosystem. It may go down in history as a key title that sets the tone, scale, and narrative style for future AC games. How Hexa will blend horror elements into its gameplay is already a major topic of debate. Though Ubisoft hasn't officially confirmed anything, gaming press and reliable leakers claim that Hexa will move away from classic AC combat mechanics in favor of a more tactical, stealth-based, and psychological thriller structure. The AC formula usually empowers the player, encouraging them to take down large groups of enemies. In Hexa, that could be turned completely upside down. There is talk of mechanics where players use fear as a weapon, trigger panic in enemies, or even force witch hunters to confront their own terrors. A design like that would not only be a first for the series, but a bold and risky move even for Ubisoft. Analysis based on the teaser's symbols show that Hexa will be grounded not only in history, but also in cultural and mythological context. The explicit use of the name Mephisto proves that the game will be strongly tied to German mythology, demon legends, and post-Middle Ages spiritual fears. Again, in the Assassin's Creed universe, there are no literal devils or supernatural beings, but Isu artifacts, secret cults, and folktales about dark forces can all be used to layer meaning onto the story. If Ubisoft manages to balance this in a way that fits AC lore, Hexa could end up with one of the deepest and most symbolic narratives in the series. The game's potential story structure is another source of curiosity. One of the strongest current theories is that the main character is a woman accused of witchcraft, trying to uncover the political, religious, and social truths behind those accusations. That's not just a fan fantasy. Outlets like TechRadar, GamesRadar, and Bloomberg have gathered information pointing in this direction. During the witch trials, people didn't just face accusations of sorcery, they also confronted betrayal, fear, social pressure, and torture. If Ubisoft explores that era in depth, Hexa could become an AC game that forces players to confront not just enemies, but the darker side of human nature itself. At this point, Ubisoft's expanded production capacity, bolstered by new studios and its partnership with Tencent, comes into play. Assassin's Creed is no longer just a game series. It has grown into a much larger ecosystem for Ubisoft. The sub-studio established with Tencent will help develop new AC projects, and that increased capacity suggests Hexa could be a more ambitious, higher budget, and more expansive production. We still don't know exactly how this partnership will affect Hexa, but given Ubisoft's long-term plans to turn AC into a persistent platform, it's very likely Hexa will be at the center of that transformation. There is still major uncertainty around Hexe's release date. Ubisoft has not announced an official date, but both industry analysts and press outlets generally agree on a 2026 or 2027 launch window. One key point raised by GamesRadar is the GTA 6 factor. If Ubisoft wants Hexa to shine, it won't want to release it in that game's shadow. That makes a shift to 2027 more likely. At the same time, because Animus Hub is an evolving platform and new games need to be integrated into that system, it's clear Ubisoft doesn't want to rush Hexa. So even if the game is delayed, it wouldn't be wrong to say it's being done in the name of a better experience. Analysis of Hexa's potential gameplay mechanics suggest Ubisoft is trying something completely new. Traditionally, players in the series develop assassin abilities, collect armor, overpower enemies head-on, and freely explore open worlds. In Hexa, it's thought that this power fantasy will be completely shattered. Players may instead control a character being hunted by society, someone who must constantly stay on edge and avoid drawing attention. That makes stealth mechanics more critical than ever. Instead of direct confrontation, using environmental elements, creating distractions, spreading fear, or moving without leaving a trace could become core pillars of the game. Ubisoft altering the AC formula, this aggressively shows that it's essentially trying to reinvent the series for a second time. It's also highly likely that crowd psychology and paranoia will become game systems. During the German witch hunts, people believed even the smallest behavior could be tied to demonic influence. So in Hexa, NPC reactions to the player, suspicious crowds, villagers whispering, and fear of your presence spreading through the town could all be systemic elements. If Ubisoft successfully captures this psychological pressure, Hexa won't just be an AC game. It will drag players into a suffocating simulation of social paranoia. Clint Hocking's love for systemic design is a strong sign that ideas like this may actually appear in the final game. On the narrative side, it's expected that Hexa will tackle not only fear and oppression, but also the Assassin-Templar conflict from a new angle. In traditional AC titles, the Templar threat is usually expressed through political and military power. In Hexa, however, the Templars may be manipulating witch hunts, weaponizing public fear, and even presenting Isu relics as demonic forces. That approach could add significant political and religious depth to the story. A witch trial, a torture chamber, or a village court could feel more threatening than any battlefield we've seen in the series. This suggests Hexa will be as much a psychological and ideological conflict as it is an action game. The statement from Ubisoft Montreal that Hexa will leave a lasting mark on the series makes the entire picture even more exciting. As highlighted in Yara Tabara's LinkedIn post, Hexa is not just a new AC game, it's a turning point meant to shape the future of the franchise. These comments show how confident Ubisoft is in Hexa, and they underline that the game represents a major transformation not just in atmosphere, but also in mechanics, storytelling, and the overall structure of the series. The AC team talking this boldly is almost a guarantee that Hexa will be one of the boldest projects in Assassin's Creed history. Taken together, all this information shows that Hexa promises an experience drastically different from classic Assassin's Creed. A dark, symbolic, psychological, historically rich atmosphere, an uncertain protagonist, gameplay focused on survival and evasion rather than confrontation, an occult tone shaped by German mythology, and folk fears. If all of this comes together, Hexa could become the most striking step in Ubisoft's ongoing transformation of the AC brand. And if these expectations are met, it might become the series' boldest and most talked about game ever. It's also worth noting that Hexa's thematic approach won't just be about fear and darkness. It may also force players to confront real historical trauma. During the witch hunts, accusations were often made with no proof, based entirely on rumor. A neighbor's jealousy, a bad harvest, or a child's stray comment could lead to someone being tortured to death. If Ubisoft chooses to portray this era not just as a dark aesthetic, but as a study of social paranoia, fear production, and the ease with which justice can be twisted, Hexa could become more than an action game. It could serve as a mirror for human psychology and historical mistakes. Within that context, how the church, local courts, and political powers are depicted is another important question. During the witch trials, the church's authority was seen as absolute, and accusations of witchcraft were framed within a religious narrative, with trials presented as a holy duty. In the AC universe, church officials are often portrayed under Templar influence, so we can expect that manipulation to be more visible in Hexa. Templars using fear as a weapon, shaping laws that encourage witch hunts, and controlling information flow could significantly deepen the game's political dimension. That, in turn, offers players not just a personal escape story, but a struggle against the systemic nature of oppression. The expanding role of the Animus Hub also increases Hexa's importance. According to Ubisoft, all future AC games will be connected through this central system. That means Hexa may contain crucial information not just for its own narrative, but also for the coherence of the universe. Some mysteries solved here might shape the modern-day storyline or the direction of future games. Because the Animus Hub is Ubisoft's way of making the AC universe more cohesive, Hexa will be one of the key tests of that architecture. Its tone and structure being so different from previous entries will only enhance diversity within the hub and make the platform more interesting. Another major question is how the modern-day sections will be handled. For the last few entries, the series has pushed the modern storyline further into the background. But Hexa's multi-layered themes could give the modern segments a more meaningful role. Perhaps the fear of the witch hunts reappears in today's world in different forms. Perhaps the player controls someone investigating how past traumas still resonate in the present. Ubisoft hasn't said anything about this yet, but Hexe's strong symbolic storytelling makes it easy to imagine modern-day sections as a crucial part of the narrative. That would also be a welcome return for longtime fans who have missed a strong present-day arc. Finally, Ubisoft's extremely secretive marketing strategy for Hexe is itself a reflection of the game's style. So far, the studio hasn't shown a gameplay demo, a character silhouette, or even a single story scene. That's a first in AC history. The teaser alone has generated hundreds of thousands of fan theories, and Ubisoft seems to be deliberately keeping the mystery alive. The game staying in the shadows fits perfectly with its horror-adjacent nature, because the greatest power of fear is the unknown. With Hexa, Ubisoft may be trying to give players exactly that: darkness, uncertainty, and an atmosphere that keeps you on edge with every step. Putting together all these reports, leaks, and Ubisoft's official statements, it's clear that Hexa isn't just another title, it's a new identity experiment for the Assassin's Creed brand. Moving away from the open-world RPG formula it has relied on for years and embracing a completely new narrative structure shows that Ubisoft doesn't want to repeat itself. That makes Hexe a risk, but also a major opportunity for the future of the franchise. If Ubisoft manages to pull it off, Hexa may not just be remembered as the witch hunt game, but as the rebirth point of Assassin's Creed itself. However, for that transformation to succeed, the game's tone, mechanics, and atmosphere will all need to be delivered in near-perfect balance. The cast, characters, and main story flow are still a tightly guarded secret, but the way Ubisoft is hiding these details is actually part of a strong narrative strategy. During the witch hunts, people feared the unknown. Hexa may be designed to make players feel that same uncertainty. Not knowing who the character is, not being sure whether they're an assassin or simply a victim, this shows that even the marketing campaign is serving the game's core themes. Ubisoft is using this secrecy deliberately and has already pushed community curiosity to the maximum. This approach turns the time leading up to release into a kind of interactive mystery puzzle. HEXE's visual language is another major source of excitement. The dark forest, the symbol made of broken branches, the ominous dance over the flames, all of it suggests inspiration drawn from horror cinema. How Ubisoft Montreal brings that atmosphere to life will be critical. Foggy villages, empty streets, church courts, basement chambers, interrogation rooms, and whispers echoing through the night. If the climate, lighting, sound design, and environmental storytelling are executed well, Hexa has the potential to be the most atmospheric AC game ever made. And that atmosphere could make the game's mechanical challenges feel even more intense. Another critical point is that Hexa may bring back the stealth DNA the series has been missing for a long time. Mirage already took a first step in that direction, but Hexa looks set to take it much further. This time, stealth may not be a choice, it might be a necessity. A character under constant watch by witch hunters can't just stroll through the streets, jump into open combat, or draw attention without risking death. That's why Hexa may deliver gameplay where the player is always on edge, planning every move and carefully analyzing environmental threats. Such a system would stay true to the roots of Assassin's Creed while still creating a brand new experience. We've gone through all the information, theories, and strongest possibilities regarding Assassin's Creed Hexa. It's clear that Ubisoft is truly chasing something different this time. Hexa could open a brand new chapter in the AC universe and rewrite the franchise's future from the ground up. If you enjoyed the style of this video, don't forget to share your thoughts with me in the comments. And as always, for more game analysis, leaks, and deep dives, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.